I got to tell you guys, if you guys are on Facebook right now, you need to get off of it. You need to get off Facebook. Facebook is an enemy of the people. They are very, very dangerous, folks. And what we're going to be talking about in this video ties Facebook to the FBI yet again. As you guys already know, Mark Zuckerberg already said that the FBI tipped them off, say, hey, you got to watch for this misinformation stuff, mainly when it was actually concerning the Hunter Biden laptop during the 2020 election. Now, we're going back to the 2020 election, folks, and what Facebook did, I believe is completely illegal. Check this out on the New York Post. Facebook spied on private messages of Americans who questioned 2020 election. Not only did they spy, folks, they reported these people to the FBI. Mark Zuckerberg needs to be held accountable for this because this definitely seems, I'm not a legal expert, it definitely seems like an invasion of privacy here. This is some Marxism type of stuff right here. But it says here, Facebook has been spying on the private messages and data of American users and reporting them to the FBI if they express anti-government or anti-authority sentiments or question the 2020 election, according to sources within the Department of Justice. Now, here's the thing, folks. In America, you have every right to be against the government. You can actually go out there and say it because this is America. It is your Second Amendment right, your First Amendment right, I should actually say, of free speech. You have that right. But I guess to the authoritarians over there at Facebook, you cannot go against the government. You cannot speak out against the government. It says here, under the FBI collaboration operation, somebody at Facebook red flagged these supposedly subversive private messages over the past 19 months and transmitted them in redacted form to the Domestic Terrorism Operation Unit at FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. without a subpoena. Folks, if you just said something along the lines of, hey, I don't think this election is right here, they sent your private message to the Domestic Terrorism Operation Unit. What is going on over there at Facebook, man? I'm so glad I got off of there. And it was actually after the 2020 election. But however, before that, I haven't posted to Facebook in like 6 months to a year. I shut down Facebook and I'm glad that I did. This is dangerous stuff here, folks. This is scary. It says here, quote, it was done outside the legal process and without probable cause, alleged one of the sources who spoke on condition of anonymity. Quote, Facebook provides the FBI with private conversations which are protected by the First Amendment without any subpoena. So the communists over there at Facebook did this to you, the American people. This is illegal. These private messages then have been farmed out as leads to FBI field offices across the country, which subsequently requested subpoenas from the partner U.S. Attorney's Office in their district to officially obtain the private conversations that Facebook already had showed them. This is what communists do, folks. They try to silence you. But when the targeted Facebook users were investigated by agents in the local FBI office, sometimes using covert surveillance techniques, nothing criminal or violent turned up. Of course not, because Facebook is communist, and what they want you to do is just bend the knee, not question anything, not question your government. Folks, we should be questioning our government. We really, really should. No matter who is in the White House, we should actually be questioning them to hold them accountable. Remember, these people are elected officials. They're not supposed to be dictators. But I guess Facebook doesn't understand the U.S. Constitution. Maybe they're just like Twitter, a bunch of communists over there at Twitter. Remember, somebody in Twitter said, yeah, we're communists. It's no different than Facebook, really. Quote, it was a waste of our time, said one source familiar with subpoena requests logged during a 19-month frenzy by FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. to produce the caseload to match the Biden administration's rhetoric on domestic terrorism after the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. This is absolutely wrong, folks. And I must say, if Republicans get control of the House, because apparently now Chuck Schumer has told Nancy Pelosi, yeah, we're losing the House in the midterms. We'll have to see what happens. Republicans need to hold Facebook accountable. This is a blatant violation of your constitutional rights if you're on Facebook. They're watching you, man. Man, you got to get off of these big tech social media platforms like Facebook. You just got to get off of there. These people are trying to brand you as some kind of a criminal if you disagree with the Socialist Democrats. The Facebook users whose private communications Facebook had red flagged as domestic terrorism for the FBI were all, quote, conservative right-wing individuals. Of course, this was a political attack. They hate you. They hate your guts because you refuse to actually go along with the socialist agenda. My goodness. Quote, they were gun-toting, red-blooded Americans who were angry after the election and shooting off their mouths and talking about staging protests. There was nothing criminal, nothing about violence or massacring or assassinating anyone. As soon as a subpoena was requested, within an hour, Facebook sent back gigabytes of data and photos. It was ready to go. They were just waiting for that legal process so they could send it. Wow. They planned all of this. It definitely seemed like they planned all of this, folks. They're coming after you. They were coming after you. Facebook denied the allegations yesterday. Of course they did. I would never believe for 1 second that Facebook would actually admit to this, because what they did, what they have been alleged to have done, is completely illegal. Completely illegal. Mark Zuckerberg needs to be held accountable for this. He definitely does. This is just completely insane, guys. In two contrasting statements sent 1 hour apart, Erica Sakin, a spokesperson at Facebook's parent company, Meta, dumb name, claimed Facebook's interactions with the FBI were designed to, quote, protect people from harm. No, this is what the socialists want to do right here. They're authoritarians. They are authoritarians right there. They want total control, total power over your lives. It says here in her first statement, she said, quote, these claims are false because they reflect a misunderstanding of how our systems protect people from harm and how we engage with law enforcement. We carefully scrutinize all government requests for user information to make sure they're legally valid and narrowly tailored, and we often push back. I don't believe that. We respond to legal requests for information in accordance with applicable law and our terms, and we provide notice to users whenever permitted. I highly doubt that. In a second unprompted updated statement sent 64 minutes later, Sakin altered her language to say the claims are wrong, not false. Quote, these claims are just wrong. The suggestion we seek out people's private messages for anti-government language or questions about the validity of past elections and then proactively supply those to the FBI is plainly inaccurate, and there's zero evidence to support it, said Sakin, a DC-based crisis response expert who previously worked for Planned Parenthood, oh my goodness, and Obama for America, which should actually be Obama for socialism, but okay, and now leads Facebook's communications on counterterrorism and dangerous organizations and individuals. This is just unreal, guys. This should terrify everybody right there. This should terrify you that Facebook took your private messages if you question the left, the 2020 election, and they sent it to the FBI because they were thinking that you were probably some kind of a domestic terrorist. This is disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.